Hi, I'm Nikki. This is how to build a non-load bearing stud wall. Let's get into it. We're going to start by measuring the position on the wall and marking out where the stud will be. I'm using a chalk line to make a straight line across the floor between the two end points. This will ensure the wall remains straight across the length of the wall. From here, put your string line on the ground, then plumb your line up. This simply means take it straight up to the ceiling. Mark this point on the ceiling, then repeat this process at the other end of the wall. Then, between your two marks on the ceiling, chalk a line, just as you did on the floor. You're now set up so your wall is straight, and it's time to select your timber. Remember, the straighter the timber, the easier the next step will be. Also, the thickness of the timber you use will depend on the height of the wall you intend to build. In this instance, we are using timber 90mm wide by 35mm thick. Before you start working on your timber plates, you will need to use the thickness of your timber as a guide, in this case 90mm, to cut through your skirting boards and cornice. Keep in mind, you may want to allow for a couple of extra millimeters for whatever lining you are putting on the wall, for example, your VJ panels or plasterboard. Measure the length of your top and bottom plates individually, as they may differ slightly. Cut the top and bottom timber plates to the exact length using a drop saw. These plates will form the horizontal parts of your stud wall and will be fixed to the floor and ceiling. Place the bottom timber plate on the floor where the wall will be located. Use a pencil and a square to mark the positions of the vertical studs along the timber and space them out evenly. Typically, a maximum of 450mm for an external wall or 600mm centers for an internal wall is a good guide. Line up your top plate next to your bottom plate and use the square again to transfer these measurements onto the top plate too. Now it's time to fix the bottom plate to the floor. To do this, you can use a nail gun like I'm doing here, or use screws. The length and type of screw you use depends on what you're screwing into. For concrete slabs, you'll need to use a masonry plug or anchor, as well as a screw that is at least 100mm. For timber or other flooring materials, use a 100mm timber screw. Once your bottom plate is securely fastened, align the top plate with the marks made by the chalk line and fix it to the existing ceiling top plates in your cornice. Now, measure the distance between the top and bottom plates and cut the vertical studs to this length. Position each stud upright between the top and bottom plates, aligning them with the marks you made earlier. Fix each stud in place using a nail gun on both sides, both the top and bottom. It's time for your noggins, which are these shorter lengths of timber that act as a horizontal support, and they're placed in between the studs, which help to strengthen the wall. Noggins are usually placed in the center of a wall at a max distance between the top plate and the bottom plate of 1,350mm. This means for a standard residential wall height of around 2.4 meters, one row of noggins placed at mid-height is usually sufficient. For walls taller than 2.7 meters, a second row of noggins is required. Measure the distance between studs at the bottom of the wall and cut the noggins to fit snugly. Use the string line at noggin height to mark their positions along the wall. Then, fit the noggins between the studs, staggering them by placing one noggin above the chalk line and the next under the chalk line, before fixing them into place using a nail gun. Make sure each noggin is flush with the studs. Lastly, use a stud finder to locate the noggin in the existing walls and the timber in the ceiling. Using a nail gun, secure your stud into the existing noggin and ceiling. This will ensure the wall doesn't move. And there you have it. We hope you enjoyed this project. If you enjoyed this video, check out our other projects. We've got plenty of DIY guides to help you tackle your next project with confidence.